Soupy.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
How are you?
I'm alright, quite tired. Been working some hard, long day shifts at
You have?
this lovely restaurant.
You started your new summer job.
I have.
Proper. You did a few bits and bobs before, didn't you, before we went away?
Yeah, exactly. Just some kind of extra weekends here and there. But that was at a different place.
Yes. Things have changed slightly.
Things have changed, mainly because the place before messed me around. They were being difficult, to put it nicely. The boss wasn't wanting to give me a contract and wasn't telling me my hours.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Boring stuff. And I was really, really worried. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to have a job for the summer. And I really wanted one. And then I got a call from this other place that I'd gone for an interview with, saying, oh, we want to offer you the job. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm coming, people.
Oh, that was so lucky. The stars aligned, really. I didn't particularly like the other boss. I thought he was a bit of a creep.
Yeah.
And he seemed really unprofessional the way he was behaving around contracts and hours. And he left a huge amount of uncertainty and anxiety. It all felt very toxic. And it played on our minds 24/7, I would say.
Oh my
for
gosh, it
a
did.
good few weeks.
Yeah.
And then this wonderful boss contacted you and said, hey, how about it? And you said, well, as it happens,
Yeah,
I'd love to.
absolutely. And he's been so professional with everything.
Contract immediately.
Oh, immediately. He immediately said, can you send me this, 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 and this so that I can get the contract with my accountant? And then I got the contract pretty soon after that, signed it and everything, and it's fantastic. It was just so easy, and it made me feel like I didn't have to worry about things.
Yeah, it was an instinct thing, I think. With the last guy, instinct was saying something's not right. Whereas with this one, it's all good. And you started. And the difference between the other place is that the other place was more sort of cafe restaurant type vibes, rush in, rush out. Don't need to book tables.
No.
It's all about numbers, churn.
Yeah.
Lots of churn.
Oh, entirely.
Whereas this place, it's not quite silver service. It's not white tablecloths, but it's a very decent establishment.
Hobbs really agrees.
And the food is amazing.
It is incredibly nice.
To the extent that you want to swipe it before you get it to the table.
It's so good, and it's so beautiful. Like, they use edible flowers on there. It's just such a finesse to everything, and the customers even are so kind and lovely, and I personally just have a great time just having a little chat with them.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get some really whopping tips, and
Lovely.
It was quieter, and I still got a very decent amount of tips this weekend, so I really enjoyed
frantic,
that.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
So
less
that's all
frantic.
worked out well.
It has. Anyways, that's been me. How have you been?
Well, I've been all right. We've come back from our holidays, or certainly some of our holidays. We're going to be back and forth here, there and everywhere still throughout the summer, in between your work.
Yep.
But it was nice to come back to the garden. The irrigation systems worked in the veg plots, so we didn't lose any of the veg. In fact, it's thriving, isn't it?
It is. I've got some crazy side shoots off the tomatoes, which I have to cut back.
Well, I don't know if you do, because I keep hearing that you just don't need to cut them off.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
There are two schools of thought on it, and I think you should try a summer of not cutting them off.
Okay, that's interesting.
But we could talk about that another time, because we said we were going to keep these quite sort of efficiently short, and last week's was a mammoth episode. But otherwise, in the garden, everything else that wasn't irrigated has handled the heat wave like absolute troopers.
I know.
Everything's standing and thriving. We've really got our drought tolerant plants in, and whatever we're doing out there is working. You wouldn't know that there'd been a heat wave.
No, oh my gosh, you really wouldn't. I mean, even the fact I was really worried about my sweet peas, sweet pea beeline.
But also because they were in pots.
They were in pots.
How did that happen? I don't know why they didn't die.
No, I have no idea. Came back to them, and they were somehow still alive.
And green. They looked really healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
The things that fell apart really were the fruit trees in pots.
Oh yeah, that was a shame.
I was worried that might happen, and I hadn't. I think with the rush of leaving, I didn't really get that all set up right. So they're looking pretty sorry for themselves. Also, lavender in a pot.
I know that died for some reason.
Yeah, but we're over pots, aren't we? So
We are. It's just not the climate for it. We
no.
can't be doing that.
We're going to move on from pots.
Yeah.
But all the stuff in the gravel garden, all those larkspurs are flowering, thriving. You wouldn't know. They're like, sun, what sun? They're absolutely fine.
Sun, what
Hosepipe ban? What hosepipe ban? Very impressive.
Water? Don't know what that is. Don't care. H2O. Lol. Love you.
Yeah. Water's for losers.
Water's for losers.
And then we've just got a huge amount of insects, and I've been insect chasing, so there'll be a few insect photos coming up.
Oh, lovely.
Actually, one other thing that did suffer a little bit was the pond. The water level really, really dropped.
Oh, that did drop.
But our huge 1,000-litre water butt is full still, so I was able to do 20 watering cans
Cool, blimey.
into that pond. It hasn't completely filled it, but it's certainly better.
Oh, lovely.
Now, Sweet Pea, we had some housekeeping from last week. This was about cork and your suggestion that it acted as a sponge.
Yeah, which afterwards, I don't know what happened. My brain cells just said goodbye for that second. But afterwards, we were like, oh my gosh, if my granddad decided to put the whole bathroom in cork and it expanded because of a little droplet of water.
It acted like a sponge. Can you imagine?
You could just be squished by all four walls.
And the ceiling and the floor.
And
Let's not forget he did those as well.
Yeah, it's going to be like a horror film, where it just all collapses in on you. So no, cork does not behave at all like a sponge. Apparently it's made up of millions of microscopic closed cells which are filled with air. That's why it's slightly spongy, but also a waxy water-repelling substance called suberin. I personally haven't heard of that. But
so actually, not only does it not act as a sponge, it actively repels water.
Yeah, you can practically wear a raincoat of it.
Really great for a bathroom.
Really
That's
great
what we're saying. So your granddad, there's method in his madness.
Yeah, exactly. And so much so that any liquids kind of will settle on the top and evaporate quite quickly off, which is perfect for a bathroom. Anyways, so cork repels water naturally. And then also another key point about cork is that it is also naturally antimicrobial. So this is because when you think of a sponge, it soaks up everything. So it gets really moist, has loads of bacteria in it, whereas cork is constantly rejecting all of that. So it's really, really good for just keeping things generally clean.
Yeah.
So actually, thinking about it, having a bathroom full of cork is possibly one of the cleanest things you could do.
But it makes you think you should have a kitchen made out of cork as well. And clothes.
And clothes and
shoes.
Yeah, I mean they're doing, they make kind of bags and stuff with cork now.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. It's kind of used as a leather substitute.
Oh, interesting.
And it looks so good. I frankly think
like
it looks
the idea
gorgeous.
of a leather substitute, especially with all those properties.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a wonder product, wonder
material. Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's absolutely fantastic. Anyways, so that was my little bit of...
And why it's also good for wine bottles.
And yeah, exactly. So that's the whole point. It's great for wine, conserves it properly, doesn't soak up all the wine and just expand and smash the bottle.
Right, well, thanks for that. That's really helpful to know.
No worries.
I've got a newfound respect for cork.
Yes.
I have a bit of housekeeping, which is quite a few things actually from last week. So that was Gardener's Wild Live. And there were a couple of things that I missed. So first of all, all those gnomes from Robert Harris's garden? It's like a river of gnomes.
Yes.
A garden out of time.
Yeah.
They weren't wooden gnomes.
They weren't wooden?
They were actually out of clay. And you said, I wonder if he made them all. Or you suggested he made them all. And I kind of pooh-poohed the idea.
Yeah.
Well, no, it turns out I think Robert did make those
Oh,
gnomes.
wow.
And if you go to social media pages, he shows them being sort of in their various stages of creation. So being sculpted and then being fired and all that kind of thing.
Oh, wow. They looked so much like wood.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because of the frame that we got from the Gardener's World clip.
Maybe. But also he kept them natural, so they weren't painted.
Yeah.
And I think I read that he was planning to paint them initially.
Oh, yeah.
And then decided to keep them au naturel.
Au naturel. Well, I liked it. Au naturel.
Hobbs, any noises like that you're hearing, not tummy rumbles, that's Hobbs grumbling and then letting out a deep sigh.
Yeah, she's very chill right now.
Another thing from last week was the wheelbarrows. And I said they were make a meter matter because I thought that was what Adam said. But from looking at Gardeners World Live online, I think it's Make a Meal Matter, which was taken from Nick's Make a Meter Matter garden, but changed it into Make a Meal Matter, which is why then the wheelbarrows were food themed.
Okay, that completely makes sense.
That's making a lot more sense.
That's fantastic.
And then also, do you remember Bryony and Jonathan Dackick, who had the Heart of the Jungle garden?
Yes.
They actually responded to our post regarding the episode.
Oh, yeah.
They had listened to the podcast and they said, thanks for featuring our garden in your podcast about Gardener's World. They were very kind words and glad you both enjoyed it. The arches are painted in flamingo pink. Oh. So you saw pink, I thought I saw red. I think the filter on the camera almost changed the colour on screen a little, but still had the effect of being bold and striking while towing the line with the planting, keeping it on the subtle side, and the modern grey-black hard landscaping. The fence we had burnt, which allowed the arches to sing, but also made the garden look a lot bigger than 8 by 10 metres.
Oh, cool.
So those fence panels were actually burnt.
They were actually burnt. Oh, I like that look. That's lovely.
Well, thanks for that update, Bryony and Jonathan. Really appreciate it. It's helpful to get it from the horse's mouth, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I have one listener email that came through. This is from Julie.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what she's written. Hi, I've been enjoying your podcast now for the last several months, but I'm still so behind. I just finished episode 66 with Eleanor Cochrane, which I loved. I wish I could spend a few hours with her and ask so many questions. She has such a wealth of knowledge, which we completely agree with. She
oh my gosh,
is outstanding. Her knowledge. It's not just her knowledge as well. She's also incredibly funny, which I don't think you get on Gardener's World. But if you hear her on our podcast, she's funny.
Yeah.
And if you get to visit her garden, I can guarantee you will be chuckling,
of course,
as she shows you around. She's just brilliant, really witty. In her dream garden, she wanted a mixed hedge, and I thought this short video by Erin at Floret in Eastern Washington, USA, would be of some interest, and she's put a link in. Erin created mixed hedgerows and hedges on their farm, and she reviews how it's doing now. If I remember correctly, it is 6 to 7 years old now. It's amazing. Also, in a prior bonus episode, you mentioned that somewhere in the US, someone decided to blow up a whale carcass. Just shows the breadth of topics we cover on this. As we say, it's not just a garden. No. Well, that happened in my state, Oregon. Not a decision anyone is proud of either. So embarrassing, to be honest. Here is a YouTube link from one of our news stations talking about the plan back in 1970.
Oh my God.
It's a fantastic video.
Oh
it does
my
just
God.
all go horribly wrong. It's like a comedy sketch. And
I can see that.
You can see how it's going to go wrong, and you watch it all unfold in front of your eyes. It's just whale carcass raining down.
Oh
Quite
my gosh.
something.
And everyone's face is just like,
uh-oh.
Oh no.
Sort of hiding behind sand dunes. It is great. Thanks for sharing that, Julie. That did make us laugh. Finally, she says, thanks again for all you do. I have really grown to love the chit-chats. I'm not sure how to take that.
I've really grown
Slow start, perhaps.
Yeah.
And none of your guests really duplicate much at all and have so much to say about their choices. So interesting. Well, thank you, Julie. A fantastic email. It is, as I say, hugely appreciated. And we'll put your links that you've given us, we'll put that on our website so others can enjoy them as well.
Absolutely. Well, before we do get onto this, just a quick fun fact, because I've got to get one in there.
Oh, great.
You always slip them in.
Yes.
I'm going to slip mine in. Did you know that leftover pasta has extra health benefits? No. Well, this is very interesting, because what happens is the cooling process of having leftover pasta, putting it in a Tupperware and then putting it in the fridge, actually changes the starches in the pasta so much that they become what's called resistant starches. And resistant starches can't be digested by our enzymes, therefore they can't make our blood sugar levels spike,
yeah.
And then we have the insulin spike. So all these kind of things which are just bad for the body. What happens is that they go all the way down, and they get all the way down to our kind of the end of our digestive system until it kind of reaches the colon, where it acts like fibre and feeds our good bacteria.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually really, really good to have leftover pasta.
Oh, that's interesting.
Frankly, better than having it once it's been cooked.
Right. So you should cook it, leave it,
and eat
come
it
back
cold.
to the next day. And it's got to be eaten cold, so you couldn't reheat it, for example.
I don't know if you could.
For the same impact.
But I think eating it cold, that leftover pasta
Right.
is much better and really good for your gut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's worth remembering, isn't it?
I know.
Is this your way? I know why you've looked this up, because you want me to start buying more pasta.
No.
Saying, Mummy, it's fine, we can eat it the next day.
Yeah,
cold.
exactly. No worries. It's really good for your blood sugar levels.
Very interesting. Thanks for that.
You're
I
very
like
welcome.
how you snuck a fun fact in.
Little fun fact.
Because I had 0 this week.
Haha.
Right. Any more?
No, that's all for me.
Shall we have a look at this episode?
I think we should.
This is Gardener's World 2026, episode 15 recap.
Off we go.
Monty's cutting back hard his hardy geranium phyum.
Yeah.
I feel like there were a couple of deja vus on this episode. This is one of them. Hasn't he been hacking back his hardy geraniums already?
I'm not sure, but it's definitely the time of season to be cutting them back, because it's that whole thing of if there are more seed heads than flowers, then you need to cut it back.
And also, Monty says the appalling words that the days are getting shorter. And I didn't realise we had passed the longest day of the year already.
Have we?
21st of June was the longest day.
Seriously?
How disappointing is that? So days are getting shorter now from this point on.
That is disappointing. But I kind of like it because it means that it'll be less heat, hopefully.
Well, hopefully. I wouldn't mind less heat, but I like the long days.
I do like the long days.
I don't like getting up in the dark. Anyway, he's now in his writing garden, which is based on the idea of cow parsley.
Yeah.
I didn't know he based it all around the cow parsley. I knew there was a lot in there.
No.
And I love that the humble cow parsley gets so much attention at Longmeadow.
I know, exactly. And then there are even other little things like white borage as well. That's not kind of an in-your-face plant. It's a really cute little thing. Also things like angelica, astrantias.
Yeah.
He has that little privet pom-pom lollipop ball, which I do like that mix of really kind of clipped topiary, but then in such a wild setting, because it was so kind of fluffy and frothy and wild in there.
It is a nice combination, isn't it? Actually, you mentioning that and drawing my attention to it, in that moment you might have turned me, because you know I'm not a fan of topiary.
Yeah.
And the thought, as soon as you say that, the imagery of, yes, a really tightly clipped pom-pom within the wildness is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, or even if you had a kind of really tightly clipped little ball sphere on the ground.
Yes,
ground
maybe
level.
I'm getting it now.
That's what I'm trying to do, is add that little bit here and there in our garden, so that we can have the wildness, because I love the wildness.
Yeah.
It just looks like nature's doing its thing, but then also have that really...
Little moments of control.
Yeah, little moments of control. And it's quite fun, frankly. It's like giving someone a haircut, but you don't have to worry so much about getting it really wrong. Like you were so worried when you gave me a haircut. We had a very...
tense moment.
Very tense
that was
moment.
before our holiday. And yeah, I'd gone shorter than
at the front
anticipated.
Yeah.
But actually it worked out very well. A bit of poofing up and fluffing around.
Exactly.
Looked good.
Very happy with it now.
And what tip does Monty give when he's cutting back white borage?
Oh, to wear gloves, even though he hates wearing gloves and I hate wearing gloves. With borage, I'm the same, even with the blue variety.
Well, then we go to Richard Marshall in Bishops Cleeve in Cheltenham, and that's Gloucestershire, and we're looking at his national collection of Penstemon. And Richard says how about 40 years ago he discovered Penstemons.
Yep.
And his collection grew from 1 to 130. And many of his are very, very rare. He's got 107 varieties.
Yep.
Something he loves about Penstemons is the huge variety you can get. And he shows sort of two ends of the spectrum, doesn't he? So first of all, he shows that little orange one.
The Penstemon pinifolius Wisley Flame. Really,
wasn't that cute?
I mean, absolutely adorable. It looked like that little cigar plant that has those little tiny, very cute tubular flowers. But what I loved about it was that lovely needle. It's the pinifolius part of it, the kind of pine needle look to it. And that means it's going to be a lot hardier in any kind of harsh, hot conditions, because it's reduced its foliage and therefore needs less. It evaporates less water.
Yes, absolutely. And it needs that because it is from Southwest America and Mexico.
Precisely.
And then what was the enormous one?
Oh, the Penstemon Breeden, not sure how you say it, but that has the big chunky leaves. That's properly the garden one that lots of people have in their garden.
They look so different though, don't they? You wouldn't know, necessarily they were from the same family.
Yeah. And then another one was the Penstemon heterophyllus, heavenly blue, and that was really beautiful as well.
Yeah. And then Richard gives some tips. He says plant them early in the season to get established, leave them over winter, and then cut them back down to the ground. They're happy with sun, but they don't like getting wet feet.
No, and this is interesting because Monty afterwards does say he can't have them because it's just too wet at Longmeadow.
Too soggy at Longmeadow. One of the issues with Penstemon, would you say, is the chafer grub?
It's like it's one pest.
Yeah, but otherwise it's all right, isn't it?
Exactly.
Then we look at a few more of the Penstemons. What did you get?
He rattles these off. Now this is interesting. So we have Penstemon blackbird at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a darker magenta colour. And then we have something called a Penstemon Hidcote White. Now this, I don't know what's happened here. Either he has the only plant that ever exists, or it actually has a different name, but he calls it Hidcote White. Because I have Google imaged, Google searched, everything. I have stalked the whole internet. The Hidcote White. I could not find a single one, bar a Penstemon called Hidcote Pink.
Right.
But that is like a very subtle pink. It definitely doesn't look like this one. And when I did Google image it, the only images that came up was a Penstemon called White Bedder, which is quite a big flower. So like this one, quite a large tubular flower, and then pure white.
Well, that's interesting. We'll have to see if we can get hold of Richard and find out a bit more about that. Do you think the Hidcote part is relating to the garden?
Hidcote
Manor?
Possibly.
Is that Gloucestershire? I think that, maybe it's not. Yeah, I think it could be Gloucestershire, and Richard's in Gloucestershire.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder if it refers to that.
Maybe, yeah.
I will see if I can get hold of Richard and find out.
Great.
Or if anybody listening knows, please do let us know.
Yeah.
Because you've come to me with questions about that. We've checked out BBC iPlayer to see what the subtitles say. Definitely says Hidcote White, but we cannot find it anywhere.
We cannot. Anyways, then he rattles off a few others. We have Penstemon Linnet as well. Penstemon Garnet, which also has a funky other name, which I'm not going to say because that was difficult. And we all know it as Garnet.
The Anderson and Friedrich Hahn.
Wow, you did that nicely.
Or it could be Anderson and Friedrich Hahn. Anyway, that guy.
Anyways, that one. And apparently he came across it in a garden visit. I think he was visiting a garden, saw it, then he got it, and now it's in his garden.
Yes, he has all the descendants. Deadhead them on a daily basis to ensure no seedlings, and the little shoots that come up, those are ideal for propagating, and that's what he uses. Then he shows us how he does propagate those. So he uses trays, which have the little modules for each cutting. He takes the cutting material, snips just above a leaf pair, then cuts a couple of inches lower, just below a node, because hormones are most concentrated here. He takes off some of the leaves, pops in water, uses hormone rooting compound, and then uses a dibber, that's important, to tuck the cuttings into the tray, rather than just whacking it in by the stem, because you can damage that stem, sweet pea. And then some water and some labels, and Robert's your father's brother.
It's so funny because I'm so lazy because I do know that you're not meant to push cutting in. But the amount of times I've jabbed a cutting either into the ground outside and then it's rooted, or just whacked it into a pot, just really like that.
But I think that's our garden. All the plants are learning they need to be pretty hardcore to cope with us.
Yeah, they're all walking around with tats and all sorts, like, oi, oi, oi.
Smoking
ciggies.
Smoking ciggies. Got baseball caps on backwards.
And skateboards.
Right, skateboards. Laces undone.
Yeah.
Oh, and their trousers hanging halfway down their butt.
Exactly.
Those are the plants in our garden.
Those are ours.
I found a lovely blog by somebody called the Chatty Gardener, thechattygardener.com, and she interviewed Richard, and so I'll put a link to that because they talk a lot more about the Penstemons.
Oh, cool.
And it gives a bit more about how Richard came to hold a national collection of Penstemon, and a top tip he has for them is to grow them with chicken wire buried just under the soil around the base of the plants. And that's to stop squirrels from digging down to bury their nuts. Because he said the one thing Penstemon really hate, particularly in autumn, is having their roots disturbed.
Interesting.
So that's how he's got around that.
Then we're back with Monty, and he's showing off a few of his plants, which he's really, really happy with, especially some of the more kind of shrubby trees. So he has the Chinese goat horn,
yes,
also called Carrieria calycina,
right?
If that's correct.
It can take 50 years to produce flowers.
I know.
Oof.
Oh my
But his is
God.
flowering for the second time already.
Well, that's nice. He also has his Paulonia tree, the foxglove tree. We love that.
This. Yeah.
That's the one that he absolutely hacked back to a literal stick in the
Yes,
ground.
it was just a stick.
Looked ridiculous, frankly. But
it's doing great.
It looks absolutely incredible. The only thing is, if you want the flowers, you have to keep it growing. But it means you have less beautiful foliage.
Yeah.
Whereas if you want more foliage, that's why you hack it back.
Right.
So that it has the new, lush, big dinner plate foliage.
Crikey, it's like with hostas. You know, people cut off the flowers to just have the foliage. I recognise the beauty of the foliage of both those plants. But I'm a flower person because there are so many things that provide foliage without any flowers.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always going to keep a Paulownia growing to get the flower. And I'm always going to let my hosta flowers grow.
Yeah, true. If we have hostas ever.
And also with hostas, you still get the beautiful foliage, don't you?
You do, frankly. We saw some really beautiful...
We saw loads with the flowers.
Hostas with flowers on, and the foliage looked just as amazing, frankly.
That was on our garden trips that we've done. I still need to find a moment to edit all that together. So that's coming at some point in the near future.
Yeah.
Or distant future, we'll see.
Exactly. That also reminds me that my little jewel orchid, you know, I said
yes,
shot up its new flowers.
How's it doing?
They're just opening. They're really cute, little dinky, pinky, whitey, yellow. They're kind of like a mixture of colours on a kind of more burgundy stem.
Oh, well, that's good news.
They're looking really pretty, and luckily also the foliage is staying rather nice.
Good.
But I will be cutting them back, obviously, once they've kind of finished flowering.
Oh, yeah, but you're going to let the flowers happen,
obviously.
Okay.
I'm not going to go, you're about to come out, snip. Loser.
I don't know.
No,
all
I
right.
won't be doing that.
That's good news.
Anyways, he then goes over to, I think, behind the grass borders, near the hedge. He has a Rosa moyesii in there, and it has got fire blight, so it looks like it's been scorched, frankly.
Yes, he planted it 29 years ago, and it's only in the last year or so that it started dying back.
That's an old rose.
He said the fire blight can affect apples, medlars and hawthorn. I wondered, is that the same thing as you get with tulips? Isn't that called fire blight?
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
It's fire something.
It's definitely
anyway.
fire something.
Yeah.
I thought it could be fire blight.
I wonder if it's the same thing.
Yeah, because they look like they're just completely frazzled.
Yeah. Well, he says you need to just cut it completely to the ground, burn everything, and then hopefully the new growth will be healthy.
Yeah, must burn everything. And then also disinfect the tools.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Very important.
Very important.
Then we go to the Exchange in Erith, South London, and that's with Arit Anderson. This is a former Edwardian library dating back to more than a century ago, and it was left in rack and ruin.
Yeah.
And then in 2019, its gardens were brought back to life. And we meet Selina Ozanne, and she is the head gardener at the Exchange. And Selina explains how the gardens wrap right around the old library with 5 gardens in one.
Yeah.
She mentions 3 of those: woodland edge, a sand bed, which has 30 centimetres of sand, is very exposed.
Yeah.
A fern yard, that's deep shade, almost no sun.
Yeah.
And
loads of microclimates.
Yeah, they're all different microclimates, and I wondered what the other 2 were of the 5 because I don't think they mention them. But reading up about their garden, there's also, I think, a mulberry bank, and then I think the greenhouse is the 5th.
Oh, because that
garden
greenhouse
that they talk about
is next level.
So Selina says they have a zero irrigation approach. They just spot water if something's struggling. But basically she mulches once a year with a really thick layer of organic matter.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, and also packs in the plants to trap in the moisture.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then in terms of the planting, that happened in 2021 with 70 volunteers joining in to plant up 3,500 plants in 2 days.
I know, quite incredible. And so in the dry garden, Arit talks about the Pinus halepensis in there, which really is quite a statement. Yeah. And I think it's lovely to have a pine in a dry garden.
And also it's drought tolerant. So
exactly.
ideal for that position.
Yeah,
I thought it was beautiful.
Very
it was a real
pretty
statement, wasn't it?
It was. I think then in the more woodland area, this is where we had the sycamore trees, which obviously they're going
Huge.
Yeah, they were absolutely massive. I was surprised that they had such big trees next to a library.
Yeah.
But it looks really, really lovely. And then there were things like the Eleagnus quicksilver, beautiful silver, slightly variegated foliage.
And that kind of bridges the gap, doesn't it, between the huge sycamores and the ground level stuff.
Exactly. It would be a bit weird to just have a really tall thing and then just suddenly ground level.
Yeah.
And there was also then the Digitalis lutea, and that just added to those really calm, soft colours.
Yeah.
There's such a calm scheme in there.
And Arit talks about the cardoons and the foxgloves providing this lovely height, so as you walk along the path, you're really kind of immersed in it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lovely little winding, quite narrow path, so you're kind of brushing past things, which is a lovely thing to have.
And then in terms of the boundaries, they use reclaimed materials, so there was that lovely rusted corrugated fence. I thought that looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Such an industrial material, isn't it?
It is.
But it can look really gorgeous, I think. And then there was a plant that doesn't get mentioned, but we see an image of it. And I looked that up, and it's called Vile's primrose or orchid primrose.
Primula vialii. I looked it up as well because it was so beautiful. I was like, how is Gardener's World not talked about this? Come on.
That's incredible that you pictured it as
well.
God. Even to the extent, look, I did a little
screen
grab of it because it's beautiful. So kind of like a red hot poker, but with sort of what would you call it? Like a maroon,
the kind of calyx almost.
Calyx, and then the flowers that flower from the bottom up like a red hot poker. They're beautiful, rich lilac-y colours. Those two colours, I mean, really, really striking.
I know, purple and red together. I mean, what on earth? Fantastic.
Yes, stunning. And then we meet some of the volunteers and they talk about how much of a sanctuary it is. And then the final scene is Arit being shown the greenhouse.
Yes.
Which was inspired by the first ever mobile library.
I couldn't have loved this more.
Wasn't it a beautiful greenhouse?
It was absolutely stunning. It was a piece of art in itself.
It really was, wasn't it?
I needed more shots of that from all angles.
Absolutely.
Loved it.
And Arit and Selina are doing some propagating of the foxgloves and delphiniums.
Digitalis ferruginea and Delphinium requinii.
What an office, huh?
Great stuff.
Well, that garden is designed by designer Sarah Price, and you might recognise her name because we talked about her not that long ago. She also did Benton End, which Ashley visited. I think episode 12.
Yes, that reminds me.
And if you want to volunteer yourself there, you can do weekly. They do volunteering on Fridays, 10 till 1.
Cool.
And it's open to anyone with an interest in horticulture. So even if you're not local, if you come from further afield, you can go and join in. And as for that greenhouse, well, it was inspired by Florence Barton Young, who was the head librarian for over 20 years.
Oh.
And she used to go around in this travelling library van, which she commissioned in the 1930s.
Yeah.
And I've seen photos of it. It's the coolest looking van.
Yeah.
And it currently sits in the Science Museum in Wroughton.
Oh my
So if you want to see the actual vehicle, it's there. They
Wow.
weren't able to bring it back to the library, so instead they used photos and plans of the original to inspire that new greenhouse.
I love that.
And so they got it custom made for the gardens. And
Yeah.
it really hits the nail on the head when you look at it side by side with the original travelling library and what they've done with the greenhouse. It's spot on.
Oh, I look forward to seeing that.
And finally, just about Selina, if you want to find her on Instagram, she puts lots of stuff on there, lots of photos. She's really quite funny. She is called @Selina but Greener.
Oh, I like that. Then we're back with Monty again, And he is talking about his raspberries and squash bed, because we know that further kind of back in
March.
back in March, exactly. He's putting in these raspberry canes in where the squash used to be, because he was going to create a raspberry bed there. But they have really done absolutely nothing. There was like a tiny bit of foliage.
Yeah, it was reassuring to hear and see that. And I love how Monty's just very matter of fact about it.
Oh, he really is.
You know, this happens.
Yeah.
So they're using the structures, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Or Monty's using the structures to put in
some squash. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be an interesting mix, not done before. Raspberries and squash, we'll see how it works. So he's putting in squash lekker and blue curry.
Yeah.
2 varieties. And then he talks about the curcubit family, which is a family which needs a lot of nutrients and a lot of water. So that includes
a lot of heat.
And a lot of heat as well. Less so for courgettes and cucumbers, which can deal with slightly cooler conditions. They obviously need the nutrients. But the ones that really need the heat are the melons. So he's trying out some in those big, whopping plastic tubs that he has.
And importantly, in the greenhouse.
In the greenhouse, exactly. So he's trying out melon green nutmeg just because word of mouth sounds like a good one, apparently. So he's popping that in the pot. And then he says, very importantly, he'll be feeding it. But before harvesting, about a week before, stop feeding, stop watering, just so that all that nutrients is really concentrated into the kind of...
condenses the sugars, doesn't it?
Yeah, into... I've forgotten the word. It's not the pulp, it's the...
Flesh?
The flesh, thank you. There we go.
And yes, when you're putting them in those big pots, drainage holes, of course, are essential. And peat-free bark-based compost he's using.
Very important.
And then lots of garden compost as well.
Yep.
Then we meet the florist Jenny Radbourne in her garden in Wensleydale. Wallace and Gromit's favourite cheese, of course. First up, did you see those views? It was stunning.
It was so stunning because her garden had these huge whopping terraces and it just seemed to completely drop away.
It was almost like she was by the sea.
I know.
I kept looking whenever there was a shot off where you could just see the view. I kept looking for a sea horizon.
A little sea line.
Yeah. But it had all that feeling without being by the sea. It was absolutely stunning.
Even the kind of windiness of it seemed to
just
be
gorgeous.
sea-like.
I really loved her place.
Yeah.
Well, Jenny talks about how one day she got up to get ready for work and her legs felt strange. She called an ambulance and she was experiencing severe pain, and that was it. She became paralysed from the waist down. How terrifying is that?
Absolutely terrifying.
It turns out she had transverse myelitis, which is an autoimmune disease, and she had the acute form, which she describes as being like an explosion in the spinal cord.
Oh my gosh.
So she spent several weeks in hospital and she was making very little progress. And then she came home and she said her garden was calling her. And this is another one of those stories we hear about how important the garden is for people's health. And basically what it is nature. It's about connecting again with planet Earth in whatever form that takes.
Yeah.
And getting out of concrete and buildings.
Stuffy
air. And just get out in amongst the elements and be nurtured by the planet.
Just lying on the grass, like in the angel formation.
Yes, exactly. And Jenny's husband was a real pillar of support by the sounds of it. He got her moving in the garden. And bit by bit, she got her movement and feeling back, which must have been such a massive relief. Can you imagine when you just first start to get some feeling back again?
Yeah.
Okay, this is going in the right direction.
Oh my gosh.
So some of the things they did to adapt the garden was the paths. So she wanted soft landing paths in case she had a fall. So she had a sort of small gritty, like a small grit.
Yeah, very small grit.
One. Very small. And then wood chip paths as well. Of course, it's a beautiful soft landing, isn't it?
Very nice.
It's like when you walk in a forest, we always say how springy the ground feels, doesn't it, in amongst the trees.
I mean, the most ideal one would be moss, of course, because that is just the most perfect.
But slippery.
Oh,
that's
my
too
gosh,
dangerous.
that is dangerous, actually.
Yeah.
Make a good point. Yeah, but the very fine grit is nice because you can kind of really shove your heel into it.
Anchor yourself, really.
Anchor yourself. And then, the wood chip is just lovely.
Yeah. So Jenny says she trial and errors when she's gardening. And she talks about a whole load of her plants that she has in there.
Yes. So she has some salix, which was kind of like a might do well, might not.
Yeah, we'll see.
But then she has loads. It's a proper kind of cottage garden style planting. Foxgloves, alliums, alchemilla mollis, lupins, lavender and cosmos. And it's repeat planting everywhere as much as possible so that she could do it on a lower budget so she could propagate and have self-seeders and just to kind of really fill the garden with these main plants.
Lots of delphiniums in there as well.
Oh yeah, well, lots of delphiniums.
Jenny says that the physio she gets from planting and moving stuff around is second to none, and I love it when she says that this was such a great statement. There's nothing more determined than a woman that needs to get a bag of compost down a garden, quite frankly. Absolutely hilarious. There is nothing more determined than a woman who needs to get a bag of compost down a garden.
The amount of times when I was like 14 years old, I would have the sack of compost on my back, just walking down. It's like, I must get this bag of compost over there.
Nothing's stopping me. But to be honest, there's nothing more determined than a woman who needs to move anything, because I can think about the times when there might be a wardrobe that I've got from IKEA and it says it's definitely a two-man job, but I'm absolutely going to find a way of doing it on my own if there isn't a second man to do it.
Yes, exactly.
Or, just moving furniture around the house. I remember I went away travelling for a year and I was renting out my house during the time and I had to get a lot of important things up into the attic so I could lock it away so that the tenants couldn't get access to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a pulley system so I could sling the pieces of furniture. So I had an old curtain.
Yeah.
And I knotted it at the four corners with some rope that went onto a pulley that I attached to the beam up in the attic. And then I'd put pieces of furniture into this and then I would pull on the other end of the rope, get it up to the top. Then I'd clamber up, I'd swing it over to one side, dump it, go back down for the next piece.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
There's nothing you can't do with a pulley.
Exactly. And we did the same then when we were digging the pond. Pulley system, get all the mud out of the way.
Pulleys are the way forward, I'm telling you.
Pulleys are great.
Anyway, Jenny and her husband levelled the garden to give her good access. And she does a lot of division to get more plants. That's how she fills everything out.
Yeah.
She talks about her delphiniums, which get a lot of snappage from the winds. That was a bit like Jessie and Josh that we saw from last week, who were looking for advice on how to stop that. And then we see a shady bit of Jenny's garden.
Just a little kind of alleyway where she has lots of things like fatsias and ferns and some hostas in there.
So nice to have a shady bit. Mm-hmm. And then she has another area that Jenny just leaves to it. So she has lots of poppies in there, marguerites, I think I saw. Mm-hmm. And that wild space is her favourite part.
I know, she absolutely loves it and I completely get it.
And then Jenny shows us her cuttings garden, which is wonderful. And then we head into her greenhouse, which is a gorgeous space.
Oh, lovely.
She does a lot of her artwork there and she grows all her seedlings in there as well.
Yeah, it's packed to the brim.
What does she have?
She things like Nigella, Larkspur, Calendula. I also saw some zinnia seedlings in there.
Right. And then finally, Jenny picks a beautiful wild-looking posy of flowers, which was absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
And she talks about the importance of positive mental attitude and how her garden has nurtured her back to life. What a dude I thought Jenny was. She was amazing, wasn't she?
I thought she was so incredible. And then also her artwork, the clay pressings that she did of the flowers, they looked absolutely incredible.
They are gorgeous, aren't they? They're lime plaster sculptures, and we've seen those before. Back in 2025 on episode 7, there was Molly, who was showing her parents' garden, I think it was. And she has Molly imprints and she does very similar. One difference is that she does paint some of hers as well, kind of a two-tone. I don't know if you remember we talked about there was this sort of Wedgwood style imprint that we really liked.
Yes, that does remind me.
She calls it floral casting art. But with Jenny's, you can buy hers online at Wensleydale Botanicals. And also she offers workshops on them. So I'll add a link to her website about that.
Oh, that would be cool.
And also, just when you think Jenny couldn't get any cooler or inspiringer, she put a post on her social media after her Gardener's World episode went out.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of paragraphs that stood out for me. She said, when I was first contacted by one of the team, I genuinely wasn't sure it was something I wanted to do, as I'm something of a sociable recluse, happiest most of the time alone in my garden.
Yeah, I get that.
Yep, so I took myself well and truly out of my comfort zone. At times during the interviews, I either clammed up or got rather flustered and anxious. And she goes on to talk about how fantastic and supportive the team were.
Aww.
So incredible. You wouldn't know because she was such a natural. She seemed so at ease talking to the camera.
Yeah.
I had no idea that she was flustered.
I know.
One bit.
And also one thing, now that you say that, how she was flustered, you know, when they were doing the little kind of interview sections of her, it's a really close up, isn't it? Like, I don't think they've done that before so close up.
Oh, really?
And I was surprised that now that you're saying that she was kind of quite flustered at points.
Right.
She looks as cool as a cucumber.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. She's like the proverbial swan. She was cool as a cucumber on the top, feet paddling away underneath.
Exactly.
I just wanted to understand a bit more about the transverse myelitis because I thought with your medical interests, it might be of interest to you. It's a neurological disorder caused by inflammation across both sides of a segment of the spinal cord.
Ooh.
And that inflammation can damage or destroy the myelin.
Okay.
That's the fatty protective substance that covers the nerve fibres, and that damage causes scars that interrupt the signals between the nerves in the spinal cord and the rest of the body. And most people affected by transverse myelitis have a single attack. A few may have more, and this is more likely if they have multiple sclerosis or neuromyelitis optica spectrum disorder, or NMOSD, or, get this, myelin oligodendrocyte glycoprotein antibody disease, or MOGAD. Have you heard of any of those things?
No. Cool, blimey, O'Reilly.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Very fascinating.
Well, transverse myelitis can be the first symptom in conditions such as those. And some people affected by it recover fully or with minor problems. Others have permanent limitations that affect their ability to perform just ordinary tasks. And then physical therapy and occupational therapy can all help with the recovery.
Okay.
Or gardens.
Or gardens, exactly.
Monty's having an intense relationship, in inverted commas, with a lily called Claude Shride in the Paradise Garden. I don't blame him. I want an intense relationship with his lily called Claude Shride because it was stunning.
I know.
What a beauty.
I completely get it. The amount of times there are plants in our garden where I'm like, I love you to pieces, can't stop talking about you every day. I mean, Hobbsy's getting jealous now.
She thinks you're talking about her.
Oh, baby.
Well, this lily is a woodland plant, so it grows well under canopies, so we've got no hope until all our trees have grown massive, so come back in 30 years.
He has his under the crab apple in the Paradise Garden.
And he describes it as tall, loud and proud.
Oh, yes.
And then he's into the potting shed. And he says now isn't too late to be thinking about next year's perennials. So what is he dealing with?
So he's got Lysomachia atropurpurea Beaujolais in there.
Or purple loosestrife.
Thank
for
you.
us lay people.
He had Echinacea, Aquilegia, and then he was doing some seeds for Digitalis parviflora, Geum blazing sunset, and Lupin chandelier.
Yeah, using coir-based compost. And then he had different techniques for each of them, didn't he? So with the Digitalis, he sprinkles very lightly over the compost.
Yep.
With the Geums, they love heavy soil, so he will completely cover those.
Yep.
And then with the Lupins, he piled a load of compost on top.
Oh,
and then spreads it all thinly and wipes it off.
Yeah.
So you've got a thin layer remaining.
Exactly. And with the lupins, the seeds are nice and big, so you could really just put one in
per module.
Each module.
Yeah.
Or maybe two, because that's kind of what I do, just to make sure that I absolutely have at least one.
Right.
Per module.
Even with lupins? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we then go with Rachel de Thame to Hanham Court in Gloucestershire. Well, she says Gloucestershire. But we'll talk about that in a bit. And she's looking at Salcedas. This couldn't be more up my street. I absolutely loved everything about this garden. I loved the frothiness of all the Salcedas. I loved all the Salcedas as well. Every single one I thought were beauties. A lot of them I would like to get into our garden more.
Yeah.
And as Rachel says, they're very good for softening edges. They're good for filling gaps. And they give a little bit of wildness into a design. And
precisely,
this is going a bit more back to what you're saying about topiary amongst wildness, because At Hanham Court, there were some topiaries, but then this frothiness all around them. So it works a lot better in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. And so the different types of self-seeders, we had things like fennel, which is a perennial, and it self-seeds very happily anywhere. If you don't want it somewhere, do get it up as early as possible because it will anchor itself like crazy.
Right. It's got a deep taproot, hasn't it? Fennel?
Yeah, exactly. And then Nigella, that's quite easy to pull up, so you don't have to worry too much. And it's a lot frothier, cuter, it's all petite.
And pretty seed heads as well.
Exactly, the pretty seed heads. So even if it does go over flower and you don't have a succession planting of it, don't worry because the seed heads look pretty and they kind of go a purpley colour as well.
Lots of interest with those.
Yep. There was also then round a bench, there were things like foxgloves, dianthus, stachys, campanulas and valerian as well. They all just looked so pretty together.
And she said with foxgloves, you don't need to worry if they're not in the right place, you can dig them up. Do you remember that year when you went and dug up a whole load of foxgloves because they're in the wrong place? What did they turn out to be?
Borage.
Yeah. Still looked pretty, the borage, but slightly disappointing that they weren't foxgloves.
It wasn't the same. And actually, when I realise now, the leaves are very different. They're not that similar.
That was years ago. You were so young. And I didn't know any better, and I'm old. I just loved that you were determined to move these, and they flourished. The borage did great in their new spot. And your foxgloves have been a triumph since as well.
I know. I really hope they've got proper rattly seed heads now.
Yeah.
And I really hope that I can, first of all, collect seed and then allow them just to drop their seed. I might even like scatter it for them.
Oh, I'd love a garden just full of foxgloves. Oh, it would make me so happy. And the other plant that does well is the lamb's ears, which we have all over the place. You can chuck them on a path, they will grow. And it's almost been a weed for us. But I do, because of that, because they grow on the paths. And we just chuck them there to get them, to kill them, really. I've thought about like, trying to kill them, and they just go, ha, here I am.
They're like, we're back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the bad guy in a film. It's like, I'm back, people.
And I liked how they were around the bench. I thought that looked really pretty. And I thought, given how easily they grow, it would be nice to get those around our benches by the pond and the one we have along the path.
Oh my gosh.
So I'd like to get them around there.
You can lean over and just stroke.
Yeah, actually, even on the two terraces, the Sunset Terrace and the River Terrace.
Oh my gosh,
I wouldn't mind
them
going in there.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to curate them a bit better. You know?
I think so. I do agree with that. And then also we talk about eryngiums as well, and how they like a really dry area, but also they can leap into the grass.
Yes.
Which is what's happening where Rachel was. And then finally, things that love to grow in paving, because in between paving slabs, perfect for lots of different plants, especially for dandelions, as we all know, very difficult to get them up. But plants that do love it and that look pretty are things like Alchemina mollis and Erigeron carvensky.
I want to get the Erigerons going around all our walls, all our paths.
Absolutely. I love Erigeron. Cannot find it anywhere at the moment. We will find it.
Well, we can, because do you remember I got that little pot and we kept it in a pot and it died. We shouldn't have kept it in the pot. We kept it on one of the coffee tables outside.
Oh,
because it looked really pretty in a pot and it spilled over the pot. It was all pinks and whites, the little yellow heads.
Okay.
I'm trying to think where I bought that. Anyway.
If you can remember which garden centre we're going over there.
We're going back.
Rate not speeds.
Well, Hanham Court, when you look on the map, is actually between Bristol and Bath. So it's in the county of Bristol.
Oh, so
previously Avon.
Not at all Gloucester.
Well, I mean, it's an adjacent county, isn't it? And the garden was designed by Isabel and Julian Bannerman, who also designed the 9/11 Memorial Gardens in New York.
Oh.
And King Charles's Place at Highgrove.
Cool, blimey, they've done a lot.
And I've got a nice set of photos from Instagram if you want to have a look at it there, see a bit more of the gardens. It's really beautiful. They've got a swimming pool.
Oh.
But it doesn't look like your kind of turquoise Mediterranean swimming pool. It's got quite a dark liner to it. So it looks quite natural. There's some blue in it, but it looks more natural, a dark blue, I'd say.
That's nice.
And it's there's a wildness to the surrounding pavings. There's some
lovely.
erigerons in the pavings around the pool.
Oh,
It's really prettily done. It's just very tasteful, all of it. So it's not kind of this stark swimming pool that
Yeah.
really stands out and looks out of place.
yeah.
It blends in beautifully.
It's not just kind of garden, pool.
Exactly.
Garden.
Exactly that. It completely blends in. There are waterfalls there.
Oh.
There's all sorts to see. It is a private garden, but if you can gather up 9 mates, they will do viewings for groups of 10 or more. So that's you're
Great.
in, Sweet Pea.
My poor mates having to go around with me going, oh, and look at that. And then finally with Monty, he talks about a few self-seeders he gets. He gets things like mullein, which we get.
We get loads of that.
Yeah. Meant to be really good for you if you put it in tea.
Yes, very good for, can't remember what, liver maybe?
Possibly cholesterol.
Most things seem to be good for liver.
Yeah.
Possibly what?
I thought it was kind of for blood pressure and cholesterol.
Oh, right.
If I remember
Digestion.
Digestion.
I don't know. I'll check it out and let you know next week.
Absolutely. He says even rambling roses he can get coming up in all sorts of different places. And he loves the plants that come up in the cracks of paving as well. Yeah. That's his favourite.
Poppies and foxgloves as well.
Yeah.
And then he's showing his bed of garlic that he put in the ground last autumn. And now they've gone to mush. And it's allium white rod.
I know. He seems to be getting all the pests
He
this year.
He does.
His raspberries are going. His roses are getting fire blight.
He's got moles.
He's got moles. Honestly, I feel sorry for the guy.
Yeah, but he takes it all in his stride. And as I keep saying, it's so helpful to see these things.
It's all part of gardening.
And to see that he's not freaking out and panicking. He's just going, well, that's happened, so we manage that, we move on.
Exactly.
And that's what I need to learn to do, is not think, well, that's it, we're screwed.
We're doomed.
Exactly. And so this is a fungus which attacks the bulbs and does just reduce it to mush. So he said it will spread to all members of the allium family. So he can't grow onions, shallots, garlic, his elephant garlic, leeks in that patch for at least 5 years, but can be as long as 15 years.
Oh, that's
what
boring.
What the heck? That's a nightmare, isn't it?
Honestly.
So you need to burn the lot, not to put on the compost heap.
No.
And so he goes off to handle that, and then it's jobs for the weekend.
Exactly. But however, his elephant garlic in the other bed just next door to it looks great.
Oh, yes. That was looking pretty spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Cut back delphiniums, thin seedlings, and pinch out broad beans.
Yes.
And finally, at the end, Monty talks about his roses. He says we're coming to the end of the main rose flowering season, so you can deadhead to extend that a bit.
Exactly.
That felt like a day, and this is the other deja vu I mentioned, because wasn't he pottering around deadheading roses the other day, the other week, and saying, this is a very mindful time, enjoy, just slow down and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. That was complete deja vu.
Yeah, okay, it wasn't just my brain going off on one. So, Sweet Pea, your favourite plant from this week?
Was the Primula viadii that we both looked up. Is it yours as well?
Yep.
I'm sorry, but it was too beautiful. I mean, come on now, that plant, next level.
That was stunning. I tell you what, why don't you get that and I will go and have a special relationship with Monty's lily.
Okay, you do that and I'll stay on the Primula viadii.
That was the Claude Shride at Longmeadow, and that orchid primrose that you're talking about, that of course was at the Exchange in Erith. And what was your top takeaway?
Well, also at the Exchange, it was the moving library greenhouse.
Loved that. Yeah.
So different from any other greenhouse.
So different. I wonder if it would be difficult if a pane of glass breaks, getting that replaced.
Oh, on the slightly curved bit.
They're well placed, aren't they? And goodness me, a queue's got so many curved windows, hasn't it?
It has.
I mean, if you're in the vicinity of London, you're going to find somewhere that can fix that for you, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And what was yours?
Mine was all the self-seeders at Hanham Court. I really love erigerons. That whole process of self-seeding is the way forward as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Well, next week, we do have an episode next week. I feel like last year, because it was Wimbledon, we missed 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I thought so.
But next week they are going to have an episode. So it is on the 3rd of July. So that is on Friday, but it seems to be on BBC 4. So don't go looking on BBC 1 or BBC 2. Head over to BBC 4, 9 p.m. And here's what's coming up. As Adam Frost's brand new garden starts to take shape, it's time to get some shrubs in the ground and construct a path. I always love
Cool.
going back to Adam's place to see how it's progressed.
It's very cool.
He also makes a start on planting up a potted herb garden and shares some ideas on what to grow against a wall, whether it be sunny or shady. At home in Devon, Carol Klein is mixing it up with flowers and edibles, where sweet peas and cosmos happily mingle with beetroot, basil and beans. And at Westdean Gardens in Chichester, Jamie Butterworth reveals the secrets of growing that border bell, the delphinium. In Birmingham, a lover of roses has created a garden full to brimming with beautiful blooms, while a gardener in Norwich shares her contemporary cottage garden that became a refuge when she needed it most.
Very cool.
And I'm assuming no mention of Monty means he's at Wimbledon.
Oh, of course he's going to be at Wimbledon.
Well, if you want to get in touch about anything we've talked about, if you can answer any questions such as what the Hidcote White is all about,
That would be great.
please do let us know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, come back to us next week because I'll try in the meantime to find out from Richard himself if I can.
Yeah.
But if you do want to get in touch, then you can do that through our website, which is
notjustagarden.co.uk.
Or you can email us at
notjustagarden@outlook.com. And also, don't forget any plants that you've missed, any of the names, don't worry, Sweet Pea's got your back. I've written them all down. The plant list will be with you if you are subscribed, if you put your little email in the little subscribe box.
little email.
If you put your email in the little box on our...
Even if it's a big email.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not sizist about your email address.
Not even slightly. Just whack it in the subscribe button at the top of most of the pages on the website, and then you'll get the email with the blog and then the plant list right at the bottom.
If you heard that exhaling, it wasn't me, that was Hobbs.
That was
rolling
Hobbs.
over. Yes,
Rachel.
absolutely. Please do subscribe. You will get that every week into your email box. Right, well, Hobbsy's doing so many sighs, I think we need to take her out for a walk.
I think so.
So we shall see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye, Sweet Pea.
Bye, Mommy Bear.